All right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on, my Patriots? How you guys doing? Welcome to another edition of You Guessed It, Joel Davis Media Network. Man, I hope everybody is doing good. I missed you guys, man. I really have. Oh man. Woo! It's been damn. Wow. I think about 2 weeks since I've uploaded anything, streamed. Yeah, man. I've been crazy busy at work. So that's for one. Number two, my wife, I told y'all, started working. And three, I just been sleeping a lot. One thing I've noticed, when you turn 40, you start to prioritize sleep over anything else. So that's why y'all haven't seen me. I've been trying to be real well rested, well focused, and give you the quality reports that y'all need to hear. But if it's your first time tuning in to me, yes, I'm Joel Davis. I am a content creator part time, not full time. Wish I was, but I don't have it like that. And I like to talk about politics and other mainstream media lying to us and other news that affects everyone's life and even some moral knowledge as well in tips. So y'all know we have just started this episode. I started this episode way back about a month ago called the Democracy on Watch 24, where we are talking about good versus evil, which right now we're talking about Trump and JD Vance trying to make America great again versus mainstream media bullshit fake ass people, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Now, if you look at the title that I got on this episode, we're gonna talk about Kamala Harris being a copycat. That's right, guys. You shouldn't be surprised. She's a copycat. Why is Kamala a copycat, Joel? Well, we're gonna talk about this. So recently, Kamala Harris had a rally. Now, this was in Arizona, and her rally was that she was getting everybody energized and fired up on her base that she was going to do something phenomenal that no one has ever done. And guess what she said she was going to do phenomenal? She was going to make sure that waitresses and caddies don't get taxed under her new economic plan. Now, guys, we all know that when you're dealing with the left, that they are quick to give us a lie. And right now, they did it again. And let me tell you why they did it again. They did it again because now you can tell that these people are literally running scared. And why are they running scared? Well, we already know why they're running scared. They're running scared because they have no agenda. So when you don't have no agenda and you got people walking out on your actual rallies, what does that mean? That means you do not have anything concrete for people to listen to. So let's jump into this and let's talk about what she said. Hold on for 1 second. Y'all, hold on. I'm back, y'all. Hold on. Sorry for the noise. My son working on something in there. Give me 1 second here. All right. So, all right. So, I'm gonna try to pause this while it's not playing. So let me do that right now. Let me pause this while it's not playing on my joint. All right. So Harris had the nerve to tell everybody Saturday that she was gonna roll out a plan to crack down on waiter tips, right? So they don't tax service industry employees. Now, all of a sudden, they decide to do this. Now, here's the thing that I wanna reiterate here. If you saying that you gonna not tax uh anybody or the rich or whatever, you're not gonna tax these waitresses and waiters. Why didn't you do this while you was in office? Y'all been in office for 3 years. In fact, when y'all was in office the first year, especially the sweet and sour sniffles started slowing down, y'all raised taxes on the service industry and food tax on fast food. So now all of a sudden, because Trump has got this amazing plan, now y'all want to bust out and say, "Oh hell no, we gonna go ahead on here with our plan. We gonna promise not to tax any of the service industry." What? Wow. And what makes it so bad is that she did this in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sorry, I thought it was Arizona. She did this in Las Vegas on her campaign Saturday, which people actually started walking out after the first minute of her campaign. And you know what's sad about those people that walked out? Those are the same motherfuckers that turn around and vote for her and know nothing about her policy and don't care about her policy because they filled with Trump deranged syndrome. So they'll go up there and go to the free rally or the discount rally, get their little, Harris and stuff like that, and then placards and turn around and vote. Now, like I said before, Trump made this announcement this summer. It's on record, him on camera talking about it. He's been talking about it in several interviews. So people should know that this right here is fraud work. Now, here's another thing. They said that Kamala is rolling out her economic plan this week. I already know what's probably going to happen. She's probably going to have a lot of Trump's talking points on this economic plan. So my thing is this. If Trump is so damn bad, then why are you copying his policies? Is Trump so bad? Why are you lying to the American people with policies that he's already started and had been implementing and talking about when he was in the current administration, the prior administration, and this administration now? I tell you what it is. They don't have anything and they're grasping for straws because they finally in a spot to where they don't have a plan to keep the honeymoon going. You gotta remember that the Democratic Party is dealing with two types of people. They're dealing with people that are radical. That's your pro-indigenous people, your pro-black people, your pro-Hispanic people that's on that woke shit. And then they got to satisfy the almost radical Democrat, the ones that want to have abortions. They want kids to be able to have puberty blockers and have a sex change at 3 years old, all this bullshit. And then you got the ones that are in the middle, your average Democrat that is liberal to a fault. They got to keep that radical base together because that's what she built her platform on. Now, this is what's going to be hilarious. If she roll out any kind of economic plans and it's based upon the same that Trump has and the radical base looks at that, she could possibly lose some of her radical support. So I just want to see how she's going to play this one out. But then again, I'm quite sure they're not really worried about the radicals like that because there's not that many of them in the Democratic Party. They want to try to get the moderates and the independents. And how do you get an independent? You got to have what you call a moderate-friendly type of plan. And that is what's going to be comical here because I don't know how they're going to implement this plan when you got two radical people on the ticket. You got Kamala Harris, who will do anything to tell everybody that she woke and lie that she's listening to Tupac in 1986 when Tupac's first album didn't come out to 1990 and Biggie Smalls didn't come out to 1991. Okay, this is the liar that you're dealing with. Now, right now, currently, about this debate, they're asking if a lot of people are wondering if the debate is going to happen in September. As far as we know, Trump agreed to debate this lady on ABC, which to me, I wouldn't have debated her ass on ABC. If she couldn't do it on Fox News, I would just leave it at that. Okay, well, we won't do a debate because unfortunately, you don't want to come into my wheelhouse. And to me, I'm just tired of seeing conservatives always bending the knee and everything else. Y'all, give me 1 second. But yeah, I mean, that's just what we're looking at. I would not have done it. I would have told them, listen, if we can't do it on Fox News, then I don't want it. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. And to that point, that's what all conservatives should do, because it seems like we always go over and beyond to meet their needs and do it on their level, on their floor, but they don't never want to come to our house. And I know why they don't never want to come to our house and do the debates, because we're going to make them talk about what's important. That is the policies. That is, what are you going to do to make America better for the middle class, for the poor? They don't want to go in them details. They want to skip around it. They want to do word salads. They want to say stuff like, I'm going to do what I can to make every American that's in poverty be successful, while showing them that being in poverty is also successful. What? What the fuck did you just say to me? That's the type of stuff we're dealing with these jokers, man. Like, that don't make any sense to me. And then she even had the nerve to say on Twitter with the IRS post that IRS going to introduce new service industry tip reporting program. right? Well, guess what? Nobody ain't forgot that they made $80 billion on cracking down on these people on their tips back in February of 2023. The new program they just implemented. Now, not to mention, she also backed the 1.7 trillion spending legislation, expecting taxpayers to report their $600 phone app transactions to the IRS without she in the Senate reading the bill. So you tell me how the fuck you all of a sudden a change for that. Lady, listen, y'all don't y'all fall for that shit. She's not going to do it. This is just enough to get you in the door. They had said a lot of policies that they were going to do when they first got into office, and they have not enacted on it. The only thing that Joe Biden did, let's do a rundown here. Let's do a rundown because I want to, since we're talking about copycat, we're gonna talk about. Let's see here. All right. Now, I'm going to go to the real deal from the conservative side because I know I'm not going to go to political. It says Biden broken promises. Biden spent his entire campaign making promises. This year, he repeatedly failed to keep them. Let's talk about it. First year full of broken promises. Biden said the single greatest currency you have is your word, keeping your word. He didn't keep his word. Let's talk about his tax pledges. He had said the following promise to the American people. And I want y'all to know Kamala Harris is part of this administration now. He promised not to raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000. That was his Build Back Broke plan would do just that, right? He also said he was not going to cut taxes for the super wealthy. But Biden's Build Back Broke bill included a tax break for millionaires in blue states. That's right, in all the blue states. And what did he did about the under the whole 400,000? Oh, and this was back in 2020. He said this before he got elected, and people brought this shit, the hook, line, and sinker. What was the next lie he said? He said he's gonna work for low-income Americans. Yet 71% of households making under $40,000, which is us, me and my wife here, have reported hardships due to inflation. That's they ain't lying. Cause damn, you can get fucking 15 items from Walmart and motherfucker, you gonna pay $125. 15 items from Walmart. I mean 15 you wanna pick. Meat, whatever you need from grocery stores, 15 items is going to make you pay about $150. Oh, we ain't finished yet because there's more broken promises. Advanced prosperity for all Americans. But real wages are now down because Biden inflation creates higher costs for all Americans. And let's talk about this. All this wage raising they did, nobody ain't seeing the benefits of it because damn, your inflation is still high in the grocery store. You still got to pay a shitload of money at the grocery store. So make it make sense to me. Here's another promise he lied to us about. He was going to reward work, not wealth. But again, it didn't happen. Okay, here's another one. He was going to bring costs down. Remember when he first got in and we started seeing the beginning of the rising of inflation? They all blamed it on Trump and how he didn't handle the pandemic, aka scandemic. And he said, I'm going to bring these prices down. Well, guess what? Consumer prices are rising at their fastest rate in nearly 40 years, and inflation will cost the average family $3,500 this year alone, and still going. Remember when Trump was giving us all of those stimulus checks? He was doing that to spin back into the economy. Because if everybody got a stimulus check, 3,500, right? So if everybody got a minimum stimulus check of 3,500, a family get 45 or 100, another family, cause of what their situation is, $5,500. You take that stimulus check and you spend it as an American. If you under $40,000 a year or whatever your annual bracket is, you gonna build the economy back up. Cause now you counterbalancing inflation. So that what makes the inflation goes down. That makes Fed rates go down. That makes everything go down. That's why stimulus checks are important. They're not just there for you just to stunt. They were there for people to spend to keep this shit from happening. There's another thing he said. Solve the supply chain crisis in a 90-day sprint. They failed to do so. In fact, all they did was simply changing the way ships are counted to attempt to artificially deflate the reported bottleneck. They didn't want to do it the right way. They didn't want to solve the problem. Okay, well, we're just going to change how the ships being counted and fool everyone that we did something. Help small businesses around the country. No, the fuck they haven't. Biden done gave these people tax hikes on small business owners. And he even implemented a vaccine mandate for in a lot of areas for small business owners to hire at the time, while they handling inflation from Biden inflation. That's right. Then he said he's going to protect American workers. That's why you saw the pro-union president came to Trump's rally. He said he was going to be the most pro-union president in history. But then he canceled the XL pipeline on day one. Y'all remember that? All of the oil, canceled that motherfucker. And it wound up killing 8,000 union jobs. Make it make sense. Oh, remember? He was going to help fossil fuel workers transition to green jobs. And no, it never happened. There's people still didn't get a chance to get hired under this shit. They still ain't got no job. Some had to go to a different career. Then he talked about putting American workers first. Nope, that ain't happening. Because again, we still got inflation and wages are worth less even after you fucking raise the son of a bitch. He said he was going to never lose sight of the American people, but millions of Americans are still jobless. And he put thousands out of work because of the actions he's taking. He was going to expand opportunities for our farmers. Let's talk about that. But guess what they did with the farmers? Pushing the tax hikes because of his build back broke bullshit agenda that would hurt farmers' ability to sell their goods. And it also hurt rural America. So you got a lot of people in rural America right now that works on farms ain't making shit. Or farms that some of them had to go under because of this bullshit. Now, remember he said that Biden may not keep his promise to not ban fracking, with his energy secretary suggesting a full fracking ban is still a possibility, which they had to wind up going back to fracking somewhat. Oh, and by the way, Kamala Harris is also included in her her situation of being the president now, that she was going to bring back fracking, which I think is hilarious because she's supposed to be for the radical left, the green people that don't like fracking. But I digest. I'm going to keep rolling on with the parents and children in this motherfucker. How he was supposed to make quality care affordable. Yeah. Child care costs double under Biden's administration because of inflation. People had to charge more than ever to keep kids and shit like that. So you can imagine the pain that a lot of these parents are going through, making under $40,000 a year. He was gonna work to reopen schools back in the day, but he didn't do all that. I mean, he's a failure. And let's don't talk about the border. Ha! Border czar. Remember Kamala? The one you got everybody up here canceling that is in black and white. In fact, I'm going to put the link on the description of her being the border czar in congressional records that you can't delete, that is available for public viewing. So he broke his promise on everything. The only thing that Biden has done that was right for the American people, in his mind, is making sure them college loans were forgiven. I just want you to know, those college loans are, hey, yeah, I'm be able to forgive. They're gonna be forgiven. Shit, I don't see it. They try to be nice to him, boy. PolitiFact, they love them some Joe Biden. They lie like hell. Oh, Lord. Let's see what promise he kept. Oh, yeah. He did keep one promise. He gonna make sure that refugees were able to come to America wide open. He kept that promise. Oh, God. And Obamacare, fucking a joke. Okay. Reduce health uninsured rate for African Americans. What? Okay. Yeah. I doubt it. Oh my God. Here you go. His other promise. Nominate the first black woman to the U.S. Supreme Court. Again, a DEI situation. Why would you say shit like that? Everybody like, oh yeah, that's great. No, it's not. That's like me going out here saying, guess what? In my company, I'm going to make sure we're going to have the first white general manager. So you mean to tell me that only white general managers can apply? You don't want to look at other candidates that are highly qualified? See, that's that shit right there. You need to pick who is the most qualified. That's what I hate about DEI. DEI is a slick way of saying, I'm going to pick you because of the color of your skin and I want to meet a quota, aka affirmative action on steroids. Nobody don't never look at it as, why can't I pick this? Why won't we pick the best person that suits for the job? Fuck what color, what race, what gender. Who is best for this job? Who is the best to lead in this direction? He made sure your internet was good. I guess that way his son Hunter can make sure he have access to talk to his drug dealers. Let's see here. Oh my God. Direct federal resources to help prevent violence against transgender women. What about real women? Real women get violence against each other more than transgender women. So I guess I guess real natural women don't matter no more or something. Why couldn't it be just for all women? Since y'all want to include transgender women, see, this is what kills me about the transgender shit. Y'all be quick to say y'all want to be considered women, but then y'all want to make these laws where you call yourself a transgender woman. Well, if you're women, then why won't you just make the laws where all women, no matter what the fuck they is, have a chance to have resources to help prevent violence? Because I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of women, natural women that got children and things of that nature that have lost their lives this year from crazy ass partners, whether it's male or female. We did a story about a woman who boyfriend that she was with for years was a brutal abuser. She went through the channels, even got a restraining order, even called him and got him arrested in Houston, Texas. Dude got out the next day on his own recognizance and wound up killing her. Killing her right after he got out of jail, not 24 hours good. She was a dead woman. What about that? Why can't we bring back laws to where we can stop these type of guys from getting out? I feel like if you're a domestic violent, if you're a man that's beating on a woman, transgender woman, whoever, partner, whatever you got going on, you should not be able to be let out on bond if you done beat this person to the point to where you almost put them in a hospital or bruise them up. You need to be in jail. You need to be in there. And if you do get a bond, that shit need to be high. You don't need no $20,000, $30,000 bond. No, fuck that. Let's put your money where your mouth is. Let's get you a $250,000 bond for starters. Cause now you got to put something up at least 20 and make it all cash. That'll stop all that shit. That's what we need to start doing with all these abusers. $250,000 cash bond. They got to have all cash. Now you start doing that, that's gonna, ooh boy, I tell you, that stop a lot of this shit. But I'm going to save the tracker where you can look at political truth, where you can see all the lies that this guy's told. And she's part of that administration. So that's why it's crazy to see that they want to take a page out of Trump's book. This is so desperate. Let's see what else we got. All right. No, you good, baby. Talking to my wife here. So I'm trying to get an idea what her plan is going to be, but she said it won't be released until next couple of weeks. But I cannot find what her plan would possibly be, because that's what I'm trying to find out now. I'm trying to look it up. Yeah, right now I do not have no information on this plan. I'm trying, guys. I'm going to see one more one if I can. All right, so she wants to do a tax credit. That's one thing I did know that she talked about. Trying to give people up to $500 for people earning less than $100,000 monthly. She talking about it's going to close the wage gap, but to me, no, it's not. That is horrible because now, guess what happens? All the people that makes 100,000 or more are going to have to pay that tax, and then you talking about the rich got to pay that tax. And let me tell you something about the rich. The rich support Democrats because they know the Democrats gonna give them a tax break some way somehow. And what happens if it's gonna affect the rich? They're not gonna do it. I'm telling you now, I don't see that happening. Then she's talking about raising teachers' salary. But then again, you want to give teachers a salary of $300 billion in your plan, but at the same time, we're not talking about how we're going to handle the inflation part. Oh, it gets better. Now, she's telling landlords that's corporate that they got to cap rent increases at 5% and called on Congress to back investments in more affordable housing units. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen with that. Now you're going to have a lot of companies, corporate companies that do your apartment leases and things of that nature. They are going to literally walk away. They're not going to do that. Who the fuck wants to cap rent at 5% when inflation is high? I mean, rent went up 30% because of inflation. I can't really blame them because they got to make money too. So that's not going to work. So right there, that makes no sense. Oh, it gets better. She proposed a rent relief act. That's what she's thinking about proposing, which would have provided refundable tax credit, allow renters who earn less than $100,000 to recoup housing costs in excess of 30% of their income. How the hell that's gonna work? So you mean to tell me I got to go up here and I pay all this rent? You going to recoup me 30% of my fucking rent that I paid for the year? So let's think about this. Average American right now, average American is supposed to be paying about, I'm going to say $1,600 in rent. I mean, that's just big city, whatever. I'm just going to, this is a, don't fault me on this. This is just a estimate. So $1,600 in rent. So if you're paying $1,600 a month, 12 months, that's $19,200, right? Okay. So that means $1,920 is 10%. That means I'm supposed to get back $5,760 in tax credit. Then you busting out and telling me I'm getting another tax credit that you trying to propose to me as a poor person. Let me see here. $500 monthly. Let's times that. You're already telling me I'm getting $12,000 in worth of tax credits? Lady, you fucking tripping. Nobody gets $12,000 worth of tax credits. The highest tax credits I've ever seen for a poor person in my tax bracket is about between $6 and $8 grand. So I already know this is some bullshit. Where is it coming from? Somebody got to pay something higher. And I'm telling you, rich people ain't going to do it. They is not going to do it. They will cut corners before they pay all that shit. Hell to the nah. Oh, it gets better. Now, she tried to say his tariff wars has hurt soybean farmers in Iowa. Which is a lie. Because at the end of the day, when Trump got them tariffs straight, what the farmers got, they got taken care of. They were able, and then they even hooked them up and gave them farming incentives. He's like the only president to do that shit. So again, the woman is horrible. And she's talking about she's good on foreign policy. They don't even respect her. I've noticed every time she talks to these foreign leaders and she do that cackling and she tries to imitate their voices, they get so annoyed. They don't even want to listen to what she got to say. So again, she's horrible, even on foreign policy. And then she was the one that also locked up a lot of black folks for little stuff like marijuana and all that stuff. But now she has reformed and she wants to make sure that marijuana is available for everybody. All right. Now, enough about her. Let's talk about her running mate, Tim Walz. So Tim Walz is supposed to be this military badass. He said that he served in the army, you know what I mean? Like so many years, he was just star guy. But then it come to find out that he's got stolen valor. Let's talk about Tim Walz, man. Let's talk about how he got stolen valor. Ah, oh man, this is about to be fun. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull it up, y'all. Give me one moment. I'm on my big computer and streaming at the same time. So I wanna. So let's talk about this man lie about him being a veteran. Now, Mike Waltz has been telling everybody, Tim Waltz, I'm sorry. Tim Waltz been telling everybody that his military record is like amazing. That he had 24 years in the National Guard. He served his military and even told everybody that he's been to Iraq. But things are not looking so good because it was come to find out he never went to Iraq. He retired before he was supposed to go on orders. That's already tell you that he's a piece of poo. Who retired before you go to Iraq? And he went and shot and went basically to the house and let his soldiers be on the sideline. And then you got people trying to defend themselves. Well, it's in bad face. Now, J.D. Vance, who they can't stand, he went to the United States Marine Corps and served his country, and he did it honorably. And he did right left to avoid deployment. He ain't never been to Iraq, so you can't tell me nothing about no war. And then he lied about his rank too. He kept telling everybody he was an E8 when he was really an E7. When you say you're an E8 in the army, that means you are a master sergeant. Okay? He is never a master sergeant. In fact, his rank was I want to make sure I tell it to you right. He was a sergeant first class. That's the highest he got, was sergeant first class. He never made it to no damn master sergeant. Because to be an E8 in the to be an E8 in the National Guard, which is the Army, you are a master sergeant, or you could be considered a first sergeant. It's based upon what they want to call you. Now, in the Navy, if you are E8, you are a senior chief petty officer. Everybody know that. But when you get to E9, you got different titles. You could be a master chief petty officer. That means you just over a department head. You're not really, you know what I'm saying, over a command. You could be a force command chief petty officer. That means you work with the executive officer of a facility and the captain or admiral. You could be a fleet command chief petty officer. That's somebody who work with a fleet of boats, destroyers, or whatever that are assigned to go out to sea at any given point. You know, you making sure those operations go smoothly. Or you could be a master chief petty officer of the Navy, MCPON. That means you the baddest motherfucker, highest enlisted of all time for your for the Army or for the Navy in the U.S. Navy. You're the MCPON, you're a bad boy. Ain't nobody talking no craziness on MCPON. Same thing with the Marines, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. That's a bad boy. Nobody's talking crazy to the Sergeant Marine in the Marine Corps. Just like the Sergeant Major of the Army, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Or then again, Coast Guard, Master Chief Officer of the Coast Guard, the MCPOG, the MCPOG. Yeah, man, you ain't mess with them boys. He was in some wild lie though. I mean, damn. I mean, East the get up to E7 is nice. Like Sergeant First Class, like dude, that's a beauty. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you become a gunnery sergeant, that's a That's amazing. I mean, that's a blessing. I don't know, man. Some people, just like I said, the left, they gotta lie. And there was even people on his security talking about how he was a piece of poo. He wasn't the best there was. But he ain't really did any heavy war. I mean, dude was in Italy. Like, look, veterans like this, like when you say that you're E7 and you said that you was during the time they had 9/11 or Iraq or the war on whatever you got going on, those campaigns, those guys respect if you saw actual military action. Even if it's not but you being on a submarine and you shot missiles in Lebanon and blew some shit up. You saw action. That's a respect. You was in part of a live battle. You could have got killed. You know? Whether it's on the ground, in the boat, long as you doing live battle, people respect that. People don't respect somebody that walks around the world and ain't did none of that shit. They're like, what? Man, stop. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you was practicing being a military guy. I mean, that's how people see it. But anyway, and here's the thing about Tim Waltz that I also thought, and I felt like that this guy was going to be the downfall for them because he didn't do well with Minnesota when George Floyd, aka the best drug head of all time, out here acting a fool, along with this cop acting a fool. Two fools saw each other and got together, and we got this bullshit. He didn't do good for the state of Minnesota, especially for the city of Minneapolis. Not to mention, he also approved tampons being in the bathroom for young boys. Why do we have to have tampons in a male's bathroom? And second of all, what male, listen, I understand that there's women out there that want to be trans male, that's your business. But I'm telling you right now, if I see one of you fools in my bathroom and you got the tampon and stuff and everything, I'm calling somebody to get you out. I'm sorry. I'm not, no. You don't have no business being in no male's bathroom. Not to mention, do you know all the crazy shit that people have running in their head today? I mean, you have so many assaults that have happened in these bathrooms. I don't understand why they would do that. That's crazy. Look, if you look that manly, I'm quite sure when you go to the bathroom and you use it, they will understand that you're a woman. I mean, I just don't get it, dude. That's just nuts. And let's not forget, they don't believe in being tough on Hamas. But anyway, one last thing we're going to talk about, and we already knew, and they just talked about it today, was that Biden admit finally that he had pressure from the Democrats to drop out the race. Now, we already knew this. Now, you know, Nancy Pelosi and Biden were real close. They're real buddy buddy, you know. That was his like a sister to him. He was like a brother to her. Well, after they made Joe leave the race, they have not spoken since. Wonder why? Well, he's useless to him now. He's just what they call that joint, a paperweight, just keeping his seat warm. This is what they said. They said, during an interview with CBS News Sunday, that he said his Democratic colleagues told him his campaign will hurt members of the party down ballot. Damn. And that's exactly what he said today. So he said what made him decide to get out the race was Pelosi went on MSNBC Morning Joe and basically said in so many words that his decision was not final about him being on the race. She says her intentions was never to make him feel like he was on the clock. Bruh. Oh, man. Wow. What do you thought was going to happen? You put him on the most democratic, radical show of all time, announcing that you basically was going to start a coup, whether he liked it or not. So, yeah, he had no choice. They forced him out. We knew this. And not to mention, it wasn't only just Nancy Pelosi. I'm quite sure Obama got on the phone, told him, Joe, listen, I want to say that we thank you for your service, but it's not gonna work. Trump is whooping your ass, and you're gonna have to quit. I understand that you're trying to make sure that Hunter is taken care of, but Hunter should have never done those businesses with Ukraine. He's fucked up. You're gonna have to live with it. And if you don't get out this race, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna start revealing things that I don't want to reveal. What he told him. Oh my God. And not to mention, Kamala Harris has not held a press conference yet. It's going on 21 days. I don't think she's going to ever tell the press conference right now. And let me tell you why. I think that the people in charge of this campaign that installed her in there, they done told her, do not do any press conference because her word salads are horrible. Kamala is not a press conference friendly person. So what are the best thing to do is not have her being on doing any press conference. That they probably have made it in their mind that they're going to keep her away from anything that introduces any major press. And that's just what's probably going to happen. Anyway, thank y'all for enjoying me with this episode right here, episode 3 to be exact. Kamala Copycat. Copycat Kamala. Oh, man. I'm going to try to make sure this get uploaded on Rumble. I probably will not do any big streams. I don't know when I'm going to do a big stream again because I think I kind of like this impersonal thing. We all sit down. We all get to hear what I got to say. But jump in the comments, man. Tell me what you think about the honeymoon phase with Kamala Harris? Do you think that the honeymoon phase is still there? Do you think Kamala Harris is a copycat? Do you think that Walls is a thief when it comes to stolen valor? Just let me know what you think. Please like and share. I'll make sure to put some videos up to you guys to see throughout the week. I love you guys. Take care of yourself and each other. But I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm taking my black ass to bed. I'm out.